Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Ray, do you want to do your report right after mine or after the presentation? Okay, good.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Mr. Karate, can we do the roll call, please?
Mr. Accomando?
Present.
Ms. Borelli?
Present.
Ms. Ainello?
Present.
Mr. Martino?
Present.
Ms. Mahoney? Mr. Shearer?
Here.
Ms. Torbic? Ms. Traverso?
Present.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, would you just either turn off or lower your cell phones? And you want me to turn it over to Ms. Apgar or you?
Yes. Samantha Apgar is going to share the student updates. Olivia Luss was unable to attend this evening, so she's going to do both of theirs. Thanks, Sammy.
Hi, my name is Samantha Apgar, and I'm going to be talking about athletics, the middle school, high school.
No, ours isn't going on. Oh. There we go, that one sounds good.
For athletics, we would like to congratulate the following football players on being selected to the 2022 Meadowlands All-League teams. First team offense, tight end Alex Gomez. First team defense, lineman Jonathan Quadros. Linebackers Greg Drellick and Joel Orozco. Second team offense, tight ends Luke Faber and TJ Pappas. Second team defense, lineman Jaden Marrero, linebacker AJ Arroyo, and our honorable mention selections, both freshmen Nick Vidiello and Dylan Cerciello. Please come out and support our Saddlebrook High School winter athletic teams. Schedules can be found on Twitter and our website. For the middle school participated in a kickball tournament on November 15th. The students had a great time and it was exciting to see. Our Falcon mascot stopped by the tournament. The middle school holiday concert was held on December 8th. Our November 23rd SEL Day was a huge success with staff going all out. Miss Summers and Mr. Scamoni went all the way to Cape Cod to get seashells for their activity. Some of the activities were chess, crocheting, and karaoke. The Cycle 3 sampler began Monday, December 12th. For the high school held a clubs and activity fair on November 16th during the lunch periods. This gave students an opportunity to hear about what we offer. The first marking period has closed, and the high school would like to congratulate the 33 students who made the new superintendent's honor roll, 74 students in high honor roll, and the 149 students on honor roll. Students participated in our November 23rd SEL Day. They were able to sign up for various sports and activities, which included slime making, gingerbread house building, football, basketball, working out in the weight room, and more. Students made holiday cards for the veterans at the Paramus Veterans Memorial Home during the craft sessions. The Science National Honor Society held a blood drive on December 1st. 32 students and staff donated. The high school holiday concert is being held tomorrow night in the auditorium, and next week is our Spirit Week, where we will be hosting our winter pep rally. Now for the elementary schools. On the November 23rd SEL Day, each school had bright assemblies where classes presented on self-awareness. Each grade level had a different read aloud and classes presented for each other. They will be showcasing some of the presentations at the board meeting this week. For Washington School, November was a great month at Washington School. Students enjoyed fun activities leading up to the Thanksgiving holiday. They had a Friendsgiving fun day with activities like cookie decorating, placemat making, and even a fun turkey relay race. With the support of the PTO, they had a school-wide feast where students joined together to enjoy a meal. Check out Washington School's Instagram for pictures and videos of the festivities. Next week, they will celebrate Spirit Week with different themes each day. Wednesday, 12/21, they will hold their holiday concert, and Thursday, 12/22, they will host a story time with Olaf. Washington School wishes everyone a happy holiday season and a healthy new year. Thank you.
It's all you now.
Okay. All right, so I'm a little nervous. It's been a long time since we've had such a crowd. Thank you all for showing up. Very excited for our presentations tonight. We have a Nicole DeBonis and Jane Ellen Bear Jenkins are going to do a quick presentation on our mandated NJ GPA scores. And then we have a lot of our families here, so our students and teachers can share some of what we do during our Bright Assemblies at our K-6 building. So excited about that. They'll be immediately after I'm done speaking. I want to acknowledge the Women's Club and thank the Women's Club. They donate Walmart gift cards to help families in need in our district. So I just wanted to extend a thank you to the Women's Club. I also wanted to let the district know that we were accepted for a grant for the Dreams program. So if you recall, last year Smith School piloted the Dreams program. We did receive a grant. It's an SEL program, social emotional learning program. It's the Nurtured Heart approach, and all the staff was trained. So now we are going to do it across the district, although we were just accepted for the grant, so it's not going to start until the 23-24 school year. And every school across the district will become trained in the Nurtured Heart approach. I wanted to remind everyone it's concert season. We had the middle school winter concert last week. The high school winter concert is tomorrow, hence all the decorations that you see behind us. And our elementary school concerts are in January. So we're very excited for concert season. Please always come. You're always welcome to come join us. We also have Spirit Week next week. Wanted to remind our families of all the different theme days. So please check the communication from your school principal. I have on here, because I don't want to forget, to the board in our personnel section, there is, I believe I said it the other night, that we might add a teacher. So there is a teacher added. We could talk about it later. I just don't want to forget. I also want to reflect upon the referendum question that was voted on yesterday. I wanted to thank all of our voters that did come out. I want to also thank the people that have reached out to me and sent emails or communication, just to really just say that, you know, acknowledging the work that was put into it, and it's just really very much appreciated. I also wanted to thank all the people that attended our meetings and asked questions. You know, full respect for people that come and they listen, they ask clarifying questions, and they make informed decisions as to what works best for them. So it felt good for us to be able to share the information and make sure everyone had the correct information. You know, we thought we did a really great job with the communication piece. You know, however, there was definitely some faults, I suppose. I am a newer superintendent. It was my first bond referendum. I fully admit that I'm still learning. I've definitely learned from this experience, and I'll always continue to learn. I also just wanted to share that this is an investment, and we do see a need. So, you know, us in the schools, we're living through it every day, and our sixth graders are really past our elementary rules and procedures, and they seem to be struggling a bit in our K-6 buildings. And our 7th and 8th graders are really not separated from the high school students, regardless of how it was sold to the community in the past. You know, there's plenty of stuff that happened in the past in district that we cannot change, and there seems to be some anger. But, you know, I just want to say it's not the same people. And we did do our research. We presented to the board as to, you know, what we discovered as to why things happened in the past with past referendums. But the bottom line is that we are still crowded. And it's, you know, the children that are receiving services in non-private rooms. And Smith School's media center is just really not a true media center. But maybe what we need to do more as a district is to educate our community a little bit as to what we are doing in our schools. So we have, you know, our New Jersey Student Learning Standards that guide what we do. And we have these new standards that maybe, I'm thinking that we should have done a better job communicating this out, where we have media, life literacy, career readiness, life literacy, and key skills standards that were mandated to teach our students. We have computer science and science thinking and design thinking standards. And what we still need as a district are the tools and spaces to have our staff help our students be successful in achieving these standards. So we're going to continue to meet and work hard to continue building the trust across the district and work hard to continue getting our message out there. And we will share any updates or any revisions we have after we're able to discuss that as a group. I also wanted to share that come January, we are going to have internet safety presentations. We're going to host them with our 5th and 6th graders because that's where we see a need for these. Right now, we're seeing a lot of I shouldn't say a lot, we're seeing some students that are not kind to one another on different apps, such as Discord or Snapchat. We have students that are being requested to send pictures of themselves to one another. We have Roblox and other games where students are playing with strangers online, and they're not, they're believing that they're their friends because they play with them. So we really feel the need to do this internet safety program, but also to do it for our parents. So we did reach out to the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, and we're going to do an internet safety presentation for parents as well with the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. And also at the middle school, high school, we're seeing vaping and other usage. So I'm meeting with the representative from the DEA next week, and they're going to share different presentations they do for the middle school, high school population. So we'll be sharing that as well. Okay, so at this time, we are going to first start with the NJGPA presentation. So I'm going to ask the board members, if you don't mind moving to the chairs. And then we will continue with our students and teachers and elementary principals on sharing our BRIGHT periods. Thank you.
Yeah, please. Oh my God, it's so good. So.
Sure. You want to start us off? All right. Here, this one is. Take this. So, Krista, I feel like I'm supposed to sing in this one. None of you want that. Good evening, everyone. Mrs. DeBonis and I are happy to be here with you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the field test administration from last spring. This would have been an assessment that the class of 23 participated in during their junior year. And we're going to click to that next slide because Mrs. DeBonis is holding the driver's keys. Okay, so the field test, it was determined in July by Governor Murphy that this was going to be a field test, and the law also prohibits the results of the NJ-GPA field test being used as a substitute competency or a second pathway or portfolio for the class of 23. So this was not going to be used as another means to determine their graduation. And because of, in light of the pandemic and everything that the class of 23 has experienced, the state did waive any graduation assessment requirement for any student for the class of 23. So where in the past you may be hearing reporting at this time of year about, statistically like how many of our students have passed tests for graduation, this class for the class of 23 does not have that requirement. And then here are just some other things that a field test does for the district, right? It also helps us review and our curriculum and our programming. It helps us to identify some focus areas as we are preparing for testing this spring and how we are preparing the class of 2024. And then just a little bit of a general overview. The NJ-GPA was designed as a measure to to the extent of which students are graduation ready in English and language arts, and graduation readiness is reported separately for each of those content areas. The ELA component was aligned to grade 10 standards, and the math component is aligned to Algebra 1 and geometry standards. And then here's a little bit of the data, and Mrs. DeBonis is going to hop in for that.
So also, I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that when our students sat last year for this assessment, at that point it was supposed to count for graduation, and then over the summer months, the broadcast came out that it was just going to be a field test. So we were really prepping our students, making sure they understood what was going to be asked of them on this assessment, and we're actually very proud of them and how they did, regardless. Now this is a field test. So if we look at English language arts, which is that first blue line, it's broken down into 4 areas. Graduation ready, this is our district, Saddlebrook. The graduation ready, the state. Not yet ready for graduation, the district, and then the state. So you can see in ELA that our students, compared to how the state did, 42.9% of our students were ready to graduate in ELA, while in the state only 39.4 were. And then not yet ready to graduate, 57.7 of our students were considered not ready to graduate, but 60% of the state was considered not ready to graduate. And again, this is coming off of the pandemic. So the state results and district results were lower than usual. For math, graduation ready, our district, we had 61.7% of students being considered ready to graduate, and then the state was only at 49.5, and then not ready for graduation, 38.3 for the district and 50.5 for the state. So we are very proud of our students for how they did, and our teachers for preparing our kids to be proficient in this assessment. So I took this here and I like a bar graph. You're going to learn that about me. I think it's visually easier to see. So if you look, again, same results that I shared with you 2 seconds ago. The graduation ready, our district is the blue compared to the state, which is the red. And those are the 2 we want to focus on, is who's ready to graduate. So you can see that we exceeded what most children in the state did. Same for mathematics. Then the state breaks down the data even further, and they look at gender, female versus male. They look at ethnicity, so we have Hispanic or Latino, American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Black or African American, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, white, 2 or more races, and then not indicated. And then they also break down the data by economically disadvantaged. So if you, so those that took the test that are considered economically disadvantaged, which would be your free and reduced lunch count, and then those that are not, and also with students with disabilities, so those that have an IEP versus those that do not, and students that also have a 504. So when we look at that data, there's 2 large columns that you see here. And again, like I said, I love a bar graph, so let's look at a bar graph, easier to see. So if you look here, you can see that not yet graduation ready, our females are the blue. So the females did not perform as well as the males for ELA. When we look at our results by race, Hispanic or Latino, again, ready to graduate, not ready to graduate. All of that data is here. And when we had shared with you the NJSLA data earlier, was that a month or 2 ago? This kind of mirrors what we were seeing with the NJSLA data. So it just pinpoints again where we know that we have work to do with our students, and then you see the same information for the math. And you could see the bar graph here. So again, like we had talked about when we presented the NJSLA data, what are we doing with this information? And that's the most important piece. So we get this data, and then we have to use it as a tool. So we're looking at, implementation of our BSI programs in grades 7 through 12 for the 2022-2023 school year. So this year we have an ELA and a math pullout program where we're doing intervention for students that are struggling in math and ELA. data analysis of NJSLA to develop curriculum and instruction priorities using evidence statements provided from NJGPA. This is work that we also do with NJSLA. Subject area department meetings with the Director of Curriculum to identify program and resource needs. So these meetings have been occurring all year long, where we meet as departments and we discuss the needs of the departments and the needs of our students. Continuation of district initiatives with NJTSS. In fact, today we had a new staff meeting and we covered this again of, what our tiered intervention services look like and what we do when we have students that we see are struggling in multiple areas. And then our SEL program and activities to address student wellness K-12, because we believe that we need to make sure our students are healthy in their mind before they can be ready to learn.
And then these are just some of the notable achievements that we picked out of that data. So we noticed that obviously the class of 23 for Saddlebrook is outperforming the state average. We're really happy to see that. And for those of us who have worked in education for a really long time now, would probably recall that there were years where male students would greatly outperform female students in math, but we saw there was very little discrepancy in the achievement data in mathematics between our female and male students, and we thought that was something notable to share with you. And just in general, that this field test data from the NJGPA will help us to better prepare when we are testing in the spring of 23, which will be for the class of 2024.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm very fortunate to have such a strong team, and here is about half of my team. Happens to be the female half of my team, but it's half of my team. So Mrs. DeBonis is our Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Mrs. Burr Jenkins is our Director of Student Personnel Services, and they have worked tirelessly to look at our data, work with our staff, update our systems, making sure we're in compliance with all these state mandates. And then also, I have our 3 K-6 principals. So I have Mrs. Wonder, who is principal of Smith School. I have Mrs. Mansfield, who's principal of Long School, and Mrs. Cohen, who's principal of Franklin School. So I'm going to turn it over to them so that we can move on to what we do and what we're all about as our students. So let's get this started. And I will get the presentation. Yes. With your crutches.
Oh, with that. So I'll just introduce you guys and then. Perfect. And then I'm done. Here, do you want the? Yeah. Keys, you can try. How do you get it bigger? Just try. Tony's right. Just press that. Wait. Full screen. Present on the top. Yeah. Yeah. Here comes Jack.
I was going to say, if you hit the little, 2 arrows. You got this, Mike.
That's why we're a team. We work together. So I am just going to introduce these amazing leaders, and I am just so proud of the work that they have done with Bright. So I just want to give you a little background of where this came from. So Mrs. Violetti, myself, Mrs. Cawley, who's the supervisor of special education, and Ms. Wonder got to present last year at a conference about our district SEL program. And while we were sitting there, we were listening to some people get awards for whatever they did in leadership. And one of the district superintendents had said something about their mantra of hope. And that's how their district, their district moved forward with this mantra of hope. And I was sitting there and I started scribbling on my paper. And I get all excited, as they know that I do. I get all excited about these things. And I said to Tony, I'm like, I have an idea. She's like, okay. So as we're sitting there, I'm like, Bright. Building relationships, inspiring greatness, high expectations together. That's what we're all about. That's what we are all about. This team of leaders, that's what we are all about, promoting that for our students. So part of our SEL initiative this year, we decided that what a better way to get our kids to wrap their heads around what it is to be socially and emotionally competent than literature. So we teamed up with our basic skills teachers, our reading specialists, and we said, let's buy books for every grade level, K-6, that follow the competencies, and there's 6 of them, and I know they're gonna go over this, so I don't wanna steal their thunder. And all I can say is that I gave an idea, and the buildings couldn't have made me prouder with what they have come up with and accomplished, and it has been nothing but community building and just showcasing our students and literally how bright they are. And they are shining brightly every single day, whether it's helping another friend or bringing in someone who doesn't have somebody to play with, or just having amazing ideas in the classroom. So we are just so happy to be so bright, and I am so happy that they are so bright and they just illuminate in their buildings. So I'm going to now turn this over to them.
So as it was mentioned, we have different competencies that we're focusing on. And last month, we're kind of walking through an example for you. So we got together in each of the buildings. Its format is a little bit different in each building, but the idea is that all the classrooms had the literature, reviewed it, and they're presenting out to the school. Different classrooms are picked each month. And last month, our topic was self-awareness. So the counselors and the reading specialists, as well as the principals, shared out to the students. So we talked about what is self-awareness. You know, we create little slides with cute graphics. We also throw some videos that are age appropriate for the younger and older students to kind of model and simulate what we're getting at. So talking about the ability to identify their thoughts and feelings, recognizing the impact of their feelings and their ability to what their feelings and how they feel interacting with others. So those were kind of the focus for the month. The counselors reinforced that, the teachers do, and then we had them with these different stories that they were reading. The stories were provided to them. We have one book that K-1 was focused on, another for 2, 3, 4, am I getting that right? And then the 5th and 6th grade.
It was K-2 received one book, and the teachers read the story to their class. They did different activities internally, and then one homeroom was selected to present about the book, even though K-2 read the first book. And for K-2, it was The Color of Us. And that's what the book is about. It celebrates the differences and similarities that connect everyone together, and it helps us to see the world in a new and different way. Children of different colors can find themselves in this book and see their own beauty. And at Franklin School, before we get to the next book for K-2, it looked different in every classroom, but at our assembly back in November, the first grade class that presented, the students all got up and shared what their skin reminded them of in terms of food. So they had little cards that they prepared, you know, my skin reminds me of mashed potatoes, or my skin reminds me of hot cocoa. And they went down the line and every student shared, and it was a great way for them to celebrate who they are, what makes them unique, and bring their self-awareness to the forefront of their mind. And then we do have presentations now from Smith School and Franklin School on the next book, The Color of Us. Franklin, we have 3rd grade students, and Smith, you have second grade? Second grade students. So first we'll have Franklin School 3rd graders present, and then Smith. Where should?
Right up there, right up front. I think right
Okay.
up front.
And then I can. And this is Mrs. Caitlin Ginley, the homeroom teacher, coming with the students. Come on. And this is Miss Abate, our school counselor, who works very closely with every single homeroom. She's a valuable resource to all of us at Franklin School. It would not be the same without her.
All right. So Lexi's going to start us off over here. You ready, Lexi? You want me to hold it for you?
We read the book Mama Saris. It was about a girl who saw her mom wearing a sari. A sari is a piece of clothing for a woman and is a part of the Indian culture. Her mom didn't want her to wear one yet, but finally let her wear one to her birthday to celebrate. This story was important to read because it taught us about how it's important to celebrate our culture.
Who's first? Who's first at it for us? Ryan, you ready?
Take a look around the room and think how we are all different but all alike. What ways are we different or alike?
Anybody up front? How are we? Oh, beautiful. Our hair's different, right? All right. Yusuf's next.
We all celebrate holidays depending on our religion and culture. We might celebrate different holidays. What holidays do you celebrate?
Christmas, Hanukkah. Love it. All right, Randy, you got this.
We all have different family traditions, especially when celebrating holidays. What family traditions do you have?
Any family traditions? Anything special? We'll talk. Love it. Thank you. All right. Zoe.
Holidays we celebrate in 3G are Ramadan, Hanukkah, Eid, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and 4th of July. I celebrate Hanukkah. There are 8 nights of Hanukkah. Each night we light the menorah and we celebrate together with presents and good food.
I celebrate Eid al-Fitr. After fasting for a month, we go to the mosque and get present toys and eat lots of food to celebrate.
I celebrate with our families and open presents under the Christmas tree. We eat lots of food and listen to music. Some of us match in pajamas.
Love it.
I celebrate New Year's. We throw a big celebration, wait until midnight, and at the strike of 12, when the ball drops, we celebrate by using noise makers and streamers.
We hope you embrace your family traditions and enjoyed learning about ours.
Thank you, guys. Good job, guys. We'll go back down. Yay! Let's go. Woo-hoo! Great job.
And I'd like to invite some of my second graders from Ms. Burgoyne's class to come on up. Something that was really great about the Bright Assemblies is that every class kind of took a little different spin on it. So we had some that incorporated art. So we had our kindergartners who held up pictures of themselves. We had a class that joined and did a song that related to the story and sang out with the music teacher. And our second graders are all going to share a little bit about themselves. We have Ms. Burgoyne and Mrs. Covello, our counselor. So I'll pass it off to them.
All right, so we also talked about some family traditions, and we actually made ours kind of connected to our parents at home. So each of our students got a flag that they took home with them, and they were asked to talk to their parents or guardians about some traditions that they have around the holidays or just during the years. And now we're going to have some students present. Go ahead, Riley.
My name is Riley. My family is from Italy and Poland. A tradition is we wear matching pajamas, and a type of meal we like to eat is meatball and spaghetti. Hi, my name is Juliana. My family is from Italy. My special tradition is lighting a Christmas tree, and my favorite type of food we eat is pasta with pink sauce.
Hi, my name is Tyler. My family's from USA. My family tradition is a Christmas tree. My Taco Bell meal is salmon.
You're up.
Hi, my name is Umihana. My family is from Bosnia. A special tradition is on May 1st, everybody in Bosnia goes to picnics and barbecues. A typical meal we eat is pita and cevapi.
Right there, Noah.
Hi, my name is Daniela. My family is from Colombia. Our flag is a Colombia flag. A special tradition is on December 7th, Dias de las Velitas is when people are putting candles and we walk around the streets. A type of meal we eat the bandera de paisa.
Right, you are last. And our last presenter actually made 3 flags. Do you want to go, Landon? Okay. Our last presenter made 3 flags and picked her favorite.
Hi, my name is Taya. My family is from Montenegro. Our special tradition is celebrating St. George. A typical meal we eat is smoked meat.
And Miss Ferrara will be presenting for Landon. Landon is Filipino, and a special tradition is, do you want to whisper in my ear? Is Christmas. And a typical meal that Landon and his family eats is what? Rice and ham.
Yummy. Good job.
Good job. Good job.
I think mine works for Mike's. Yeah, it works. Go ahead. In keeping with the theme of self-awareness and family traditions, I would like to call up some of the 6th graders from Long School. I have Leo, Dante, Amelia, Courtney, and Sean. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Leo Kumijian. We are the 6th grade from Long Memorial School. We read In My Family by Carmen Lomas Garza. Carmen brings to life loving memories of growing up in a traditional Mexican-American community, eating empanadas, witnessing the blessing on her cousin's wedding day, and dancing to the conjunto band at the neighborhood restaurant.
Family tradition is the ideas, beliefs, and environment that you inherit from your parents and ancestors.
Family traditions and culture help form your identity. An identity is part of what makes you who you are. Traditions can also teach you where your family came from.
They can inform you about cultural or religious history. For example, eating tamales on Christmas Eve to celebrate Mexican heritage is a form of a family tradition.
Family traditions don't always have to be things that have been passed down over several years. Sometimes traditions can be new. These can be family meal times, nightly routines, pizza nights, movie nights, and more. Oftentimes, family traditions are the smallest and simplest things that really mean a lot to everyone in your family.
Our traditions are a part of who we are. Here are some traditions that we are proud to share with all of you from the 6th grade at Alamos.
My family originated from Sweden. To keep that a tradition, my grandfather makes tasty Swedish fudge to snack on. It is a nice celebration of who we are. This is how a tradition can stay in our hearts and our stomach.
These are binoculars that my grandpa had that he used with my dad for hunting. They have been passed down in the family. My dad has them, and soon they will be mine.
We make Irish soda bread before St. Patrick's Day. This has been passed down in the family for generations.
Every year around Christmas time, my mom and I bake a couple batches of cookies from my great-grandmother's recipe. We still have the original recipe with her handwriting.
On Christmas Eve, we open half of our presents, and then we open the other half on Christmas. Our family has been doing this for years, and my baby cousin has been introduced to this as well. Would anybody from the crowd like to share their traditions? You right there.
You.
I
make Christmas cookies, and I had a picture on my slideshow, but I took it off because I didn't want to bore you with all of my information. But I make exactly like that, and they're delicious, and I look forward to it every year.
Anybody else?
So in my family, on your wedding day, they pour bomboniera on your head. It's an Italian candy. It's basically Jordan almonds for good luck.
I celebrate January 7th as another Christmas called Božić for my dad's country. Orthodox.
Anybody else?
And Christmas Eve, I open presents at 9 o'clock.
Before we fast in the morning, at night we wake up and we eat.
Ooh, yum. Bet you look forward to that.
Anybody else?
On December 1st, we always celebrate our tree before we even get to open presents. So we put our tree up before it. On Christmas morning, my mommy and me, my family and me opening up our presents.
Every Thanksgiving, my dad's brother, we go to the cemetery to visit him.
Anybody else?
I get 8 presents for Hanukkah, then I get more presents for Christmas.
So we get toys from our mom for free, and because we missed school for 2 days.
Okay. Jack. Okay.
I have to tell you, this is actually how the last assembly at Long went. Once they opened it up, everyone got to share, but it really was so beautiful to see, and everyone showcasing what they created as part of this. It really was a fantastic day. So thank you. Thank all of you, all the presenters. And it really was good.
Thank you. You guys did an amazing job. All the students who presented, it was such a treat to have you here tonight. We're looking forward to the next, what do we call them? The next bright theme, which is self-management. And if you have a child who's in kindergarten and first grade, they're going to be hearing the koala who could. In 2nd through 3rd grade, the bad seed. And if you have a student in 4th through 6th grade, upside down boy. So be sure to ask your child about that book and what they're doing to practice their self-management skills. Thank you so much, students and parents, for coming out tonight for our presentation.
Yes, just want to say thank you. You guys did a fabulous job. The best part was visiting the schools during the Bright Assemblies and watching the students call on others and going, you. They did such a great job, and just so that's a glimpse as to a piece of what we're doing in our schools. So as the board transitions back to the table, you're all welcome to head home and get a good night's rest. You're welcome to stay as well, and we were going to continue with our board meeting. Thank you to our elementary team and Mrs. DeBonis and Mrs. Beer-Jenkins.
Here's your phone. Do you want this? Sure. It was funny, I was so nervous. He goes, I hope I'm not afraid to speak.
What's up? That's what brings them in. Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, well, that was very nice. Mr. Karate, do you have anything this evening?
I do not have a report.
Okay, I guess we'll open the meeting for public comment. Anybody wish to speak on agenda items? Okay, well, we won't open it. Okay, we'll go to board action items. That's okay. Okay, B 2223.16 to B 2223.18. Any, Mr. Karate? Who's that? Oh. Can I get a motion on that one? I'm sorry. Second? Okay.
Let's see, we'll start with Mr. Laurentino.
Oh, sorry, me?
Yep, we'll start with you.
I'm going to vote yes to all, but on B2223.16, I'll abstain on the minutes for the November 9th meeting as I was not there.
Mr. Shearer.
Yes.
Ms. Traverso.
Yes.
Ms. Borelli.
Yes.
Ms. Ainello.
Yes.
And Mr. Accomando.
Yes. Okay. Education and curriculum, I'll do that for Vicky. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. E 2223.21 to .24. Get a motion on that one?
Motion.
Second? Okay. Mr. Karai.
Mr. Laurentino.
Yes.
Mr. Shearer.
Yes.
Ms. Traverso.
Yes.
Ms. Borelli.
Yes.
Ms. Ainello.
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Shear.
All right, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. F 2223.43 through F 223.51.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that, though? Okay, Mr. Crowder.
Mr. Laurentino.
I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'm going to abstain on F2223.43, check numbers 5977 and 6667.
Mr. Shearer.
Yes.
Ms. Traverso.
Yes.
Ms. Borelli.
Yes.
Ms. Ainello.
Yes to all, but on F2223.43, I'm going to abstain from check numbers 6225-6, 5937, and 6262.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Laurentino, is there anything for us on policy?
We have nothing in policy this evening.
Okay, thank you. No negotiations. Ms. Traverso.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. P 2223.33 through P 2223.40.
And if I may, P2223.34, number 2, is the person I interviewed yesterday, and she accepted the position. It's going to be middle school, high school special education teacher. You'll see it. Do you have it? You should see it on your agendas, correct? Elizabeth Palazzati. Yes.
Okay.
Second?
Second what?
You said make a motion. I said second.
She said.
Oh, I wasn't saying discussion. Oh,
A little too fast for you over here.
yeah. Any discussion?
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure.
I just think it's good to see, looking at this, that we're actually hiring people that were Saddlebrook residents that came through our school district. I didn't realize that Elizabeth Palazzati was getting hired, and it's just great to see people like that. Also, on our coaches' end, and that we can mention some people. So it's just very good to see.
I do agree with Vinny. Also, again, with Mr. Soroki on his retirement, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for all you have done for the district. You're going to be greatly missed, so best of luck on all you do.
Guys, I would like to echo that and thank you for your years of service and dedication to Saddlebrook, and wish you the very best in your new career, retirement.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, we have, oh, you got the roll call, Mr. Price, sorry.
Mr. Laurentino,
I'm going to vote yes to all.
Mr. Shearer,
Yes.
Ms. Traverso,
Yes.
Ms. Borelli,
Yes.
Ms. Ianello,
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in P2223.36 stipend, number 2, 4 through 10, 13 through 16, and 19 and 20.
Wow, are those all checks? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I wish. Nope.
and Ms.
Just the coaching
Giacomondo.
staff.
Yes. Okay, committee reports.
The Finance Budget Committee met Monday, just talked about agenda items, nothing big to report.
Okay, nothing from Chair Sylvia, nothing from Vinny. We'll go to Memorial. Traverso on details.
Yes, long school. I did mention this Monday night, but I will repeat it. Give me a second here. Sorry. Okay. The Long Memorial School PTO met on, give me a moment here, please, November 15th. And at that time, we're thanking all of their LMS families for their continued support and volunteer efforts. They recently had their holiday workshop, which was a major success. The children love shopping for their friends and family. The LMS PTO will be hosting their Breakfast with Santa at Applebee's in Paramus this Sunday, December 18th. And their upcoming holiday winter class parties on the last day before holiday break. PTO will be providing pizza. The class parents will be providing additional treats. The LMS PTO wishes everyone a wonderful holiday season and an amazing 2023. And their next meeting is January 10th at 7 p.m. in the LMS cafeteria.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Ianello, do you have anything? All right, I guess I'll try to read Smith's right here. Sorry, but I forgot my glasses, so. Okay, last Friday, Smith School kids participated in Better Than Broadway's production of The Rotten Princess, which was there and here. They had over 60 kids from 2nd to 6th grade acting and singing. They performed for the students, teachers, and staff at Smith School, and then on to the big stage here in front of friends and family. They all did an amazing job. Also, Smith School started the countdown to winter break on Monday. For the final 10 days of school of 2022, the PTO and the Smith families are bringing in gifts and snacks every day for our wonderful teachers and staff. The holiday shop started today and will wrap up Friday. They will also have our sock and art deliveries coming soon, and winter celebration is on the 23rd. Looking ahead into the new year, they announced the date for the new Tricky Tray this year, which is March 15th at the VFW. And that's that for Smith. Correspondence, old business.
Can we talk some old business?
Sure.
Well, I guess the referendum's now old business. Personally, I am very disappointed that it didn't pass. And as I looked out tonight to see the 2nd, the 3rd grade, the 6th grade presenters, unfortunately, they're the ones that lost out on what we could have provided for them. However, the public spoke, and we have to respect that. What concerns me a little bit is the extremely low turnout. We had about 18%. So that means for every one person that voted, 4 people didn't. So why didn't they come out? Maybe something we could look at. However, even in this defeat, I'm extremely confident under our superintendent, business administrator. I think you saw the great team that we brought up here tonight that will overcome this. We'll move forward, and we will provide each child in Saddlebrook a tremendous education. So, and thank the superintendent and the BA for all their effort, hours put in. Mike, all the effort you did, thank you very much. I know you tried very hard.
Thank you.
I think we all did. you know what, this is reality, we'll deal with it, and we'll move forward.
Thank you very much. Well said. Okay, if I could, on new business, being that we were talking about Bright, if it's okay, I received an email today from a teacher. If it's okay, I'll say her name at the end, too. It was a good one.
I don't know where you're going with that.
No, it was because of the kindness and everything the kids did. It said, hello, I just had to share this with you. Today, while at the holiday shop, a student did not have any money, and Ava, which is my daughter, purchased a small gift for the child. He was so happy and touched by her act of kindness, he wanted to tell me all about it. I'm so proud of Ava for this act of kindness. It was very sweet of her. And then if I do not see you, but I just want to thank the teacher for seeing this, for noticing this, and just let people know that teachers do see things. And if I could, I want to thank the teacher. It's sixth grade teacher, Miss Laurentino. It's nice to get an email like this, and thank you for seeing what others don't see, and it's much appreciated, so thank you so much for that.
And if I may, I just want to acknowledge, so one of our goals is communication, and we're having our teachers, especially at the elementary level, communicate with our parents as much as possible, let them know what's going on in their classrooms with their children, or what's coming up, and they've been doing such a great job with it. And with that comes the positive emails that they've really, as you can see, they've really been acknowledging and communicating with our parents in such a strong way. I just want to thank them because I know they have a lot on their plate, so they're doing it. Thank you.
And another thing, I just want to thank the board for the opportunity to represent you guys this past year. I got to do a lot of fun things with the superintendent, Ray. I don't think I missed anything, but it was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for having trust in me. I appreciate it. And thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and best of luck. Best of luck to everybody, and best of wishes. You too, Mr. Soroki.
If I may?
Anybody else? Yes.
I just want to say, I think you did an outstanding job, Mike, though. Thank you for leading us. I think you did it as a responsible individual, and you would the care of the community, so
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
And Mr. Soroki, thank you for all of your service. All right, good luck.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Close the meeting for open it. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Yeah, exactly. I don't have my glasses on. Open the meeting to the public for public comment. Motion. Second. Motion. Second. First. Nobody wants to. Anybody want to second it?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, 1 second, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of this meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5-minute durations. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered, and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of others, individuals, when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider comments in the light of legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments, and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay, Mr. Taylor.
So now, would you be the person that would, you're going to be that person that would cut us down to 5 minutes if we have to?
I would never do that.
You know that.
That's not me.
Jerry Taylor, 318 Shepis Avenue, Saddlebrook. In reference to the referendum, since it was defeated, would we be able to find out how much did it cost us as the citizens and taxpayers of Saddlebrook, including the special election? The public relations firm, which we know was spent $65,000 on that, and with the professionals that were included in the presentation, how much, and this is only my opinion, what I think it was, I estimate approximately about $100,000. And if I'm wrong, could I be corrected on that? And I know I'm not going to get an answer until the end, yes, okay. Which I totally disagree, but that's just my opinion. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard there was a problem at the high school yesterday with the election workers when they showed up to work the polls. An employee at the school didn't know that the election was yesterday. Is that true? And thirdly, being transparent as a board, when information goes out on Facebook and dollars are presented, and as I read, $20 to $30 a month per household, it didn't say 20 years, 25 years. People seeing $20 to $30, oh yeah, that's, $360 on the high end. But when you're doing it for 20 years, you're talking 7,200 versus 25 years, which is 9,600, 9,000 actually. So if the referendum comes up again, which I'm assuming will, put all your numbers out there, be open and honest to the people, and you might get your votes. And I would suggest separating the field and the lights as a single question, and I'm sure that would pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Ms. Syme?
Well, Sue Syme, 121 Rochelle Parkway, the flood zone. I know you're disappointed, but this isn't my first rodeo. You have a lot to go over. There's possibilities, and there's a lot that I have heard in the past 2 or 3 months that maybe you guys don't know about. So if you're interested, I'm willing to sit down with you. If you're not, that's okay too. But one thing I do have to say, that incident yesterday, that's my district. This is where I vote here. It was true. The poll worker says to me, "Could you believe they didn't even know I was coming here? I said, well, things happen. But I guess it wasn't all transparent then. This particular person didn't know. But if you're interested, I'm willing to work with you. I'm not dead set against everything, just dead set against a lot of the flooding problems that we're going to have. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tommy?
I'll be short. Thomas Van Winkle, 128 Lincoln Avenue, Saddlebrook. I do want to speak on the referendum as well briefly. I'm definitely thankful and honored to be a part of the communications committee, and I hope to continue to be a part of that going forward, and hoping to continue to help with the referendum, whatever we wind up coming up with when it gets rehashed. One suggestion I have on the communications aspect is to make sure that we're really reaching the people who aren't on social media. Like obviously Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. It's all very important, but we have to I'm hoping maybe if we do this referendum again, whenever we do it again, that we do more of like mailers to the houses, and to be sure that the word is getting out. And that's really all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Van Winkle. Anybody else? Come on, young lady.
Good evening. Janae Ferguson, 321 8th Street. I want to speak to the referendum as well. First, I would like to say, as a new resident coming in, I remember the planning sessions that took place starting in January. And I feel as though a lot of those planning sessions, well, we had 3 planning sessions. I feel as though a lot of the ideas that came out of those planning sessions were great, and I think the community would support it more if more people heard the news about what is going in. And I get a lot of chat. I'm a sports mom. I'm a teenage mom. I hear it from different angles, and a lot of times I've heard people weren't ready for the price tag. And if it was something that was a little more bite-sized, if we did smaller projects instead of everything at one time, I'm all for it. My son is 6th grade, and I'm looking forward to it coming back on the board, up again on the agenda, so that we can rehash it and make it more palatable for those who didn't like it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wish to comment? Okay. Motion to close.
Sorry. Sorry. I was typing.
Do we wait to close
Oh,
it?
sorry.
Do we wait to close it so she can comment? Comment after we close it, right? Okay. Motion to close the comment session? In favor? Opposed? Okay. Ms. Violetti?
Thank you. Okay, I want to address the poll workers showing up at the building. So my understanding is not that the people, they were not welcome because we did not know the voting was going on. We take safety very seriously. So as you can imagine, in a middle school, high school main office, there's a lot of commotion, a lot's happening at once. I was not there. I do not know who answered the door or the phone, whatever it was. I'm not even sure. However, they did call my office to confirm that it was okay to let outsiders in, and they were doing the right thing for the safety of our students. So it was still during the school hours. We do take safety very seriously, and that was what happened. Thank you for those that are spoke up and willing to share information and what you're hearing from the community. That's something that we are looking for to see how best to move forward. There is a possibility we will be discussing as a board how best to move forward from here, revisions to make if possible. There's a chance that we will go out again. So as far as the cost involved, I don't have a final cost at this time. I will have to find out more information and get back to you. I think that's it.
I could address the cost part. Pretty much everything was approved at our June, August, and September meetings. The total is approximately $133,000. Pretty much half of that was the communication company. This covered the architect, financial advisor, bond counsel, the communication committee, surveyor, environmental consultant, supplies, the flyer that went out to the residents, and the election costs, which I don't have an estimate for that. I received an estimate from the town when they had their June primary. It's about $15,000. So that's why the cost comes to about $133,000. And since the referendum right now did not pass, those costs would be, we're in that estimate. But if the referendum doesn't go forward, if we don't have another one this fiscal year, the costs would have to be paid by the general funds. Our operating budget would come from, look at various lines with different variances, salary breakage or whatever. And if there's still no funds available, then we would have to go to our undesignated surplus.
And as far as suggestions, absolutely. Reach out to me, I'll reach out to you, to anybody that has suggestions. We want to hear from the community. We do really, truly want to know what's going to work and how we can best move forward. We have a really strong momentum going on, as you saw, part of our team tonight. Very strong leadership team in this district right now. Very innovative, strong ideas, and capable. So we're very willing to listen to the community and very willing to do what's best for the people that are here with us. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, motion to, well, first of all, thank you, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I wish you the best. And with that said, motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you so much.